What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. There's a few bits I want to get done to the inside of the Caddy. I want to put a small screen up, a backup battery, some lights, maybe some other stuff. Let's get straight into it. Screen has finally turned up. We've got all the leads, plenty of them, camera, amp, all sorts. This is the 10-inch version and it's the 2 gig, 32 gig. They're a little bit faster. Let's peel the fresh screen off. Yeah, I use these in all of my vehicles. I've got 2 in the Transit, 2 in the Elgrand and a few others. They work really good. Now I have got the overhead storage already down because that's where I want the screen to go. Made this pretty little bracket. It sits really nice there, but we have got a bit of a bump to smooth out as I want it to sit flush. So a few hours later I made these other little bits. It does look like a Need for Speed spoiler. Screwed in the side, bit of extra stability, and all welded together. M6 countersunk bolts on the front, and yeah, looks pretty sweet. Is a good contender for a Need for Speed spoiler, I do add. Made a box strategically shaped to fit behind the screen. Nothing fancy about it. All carpeted and looking a lot prettier. I have mounted the speakers on the inside. Not only do I think they look better, but they're a little bit more protected, you know, from throwing stuff up. We don't want them to get damaged. And yeah, happy with that. Sits behind the screen, looks flush. Box is in place and it fits real nice. Really tight behind the screen, and yeah, happy with how it looks. Got all the overhead storage back in, we got the screen in, and it sits really nice. We're really happy. As we know, the speaker box we saw in the last shot is hidden behind there. I didn't want to be seeing speakers and loads of extra bits, so that's hidden behind there. And because it's up in like a bit of a chamber,
but suddenly you hear a strange sound.
It sounds good. Yeah, good surround sound, good bit of bass. I weren't expecting it to be too loud, but it's absolutely perfect. Me and the missus and the kids were out the other day. We could hear the radio in the front and the kids could hear the TV in the back. Works absolutely brilliant. Yeah, can't rate these little stereos enough. First of all, when you turn them on, they're a little bit slow. They take a minute to wake up, but don't we all? Give it 5 minutes and yeah, it works absolutely spot on. Happy with that, happy with how it sits, and yeah, really nice. Next thing is to work out a power source, and that is where we're getting on to a backup battery, leisure battery. Before the battery, I had to install some switches, some fuses, etc. And as we know in the Caddy, these end bit of trims, they're not very finished well. There's a big gap and that runs all the way around it. So I cut out some 5mm board that fits nicely in the gap, and then because there's no straight edge, I put a little return on it, a little 20mm return, and that just caps them off nicely. Got one small L bracket that I did paint black so you couldn't see it, and then we got one of the hidden screws. You might have seen it in the last Caddy video. There's a hidden, there he is, little L, cut it out. There's just a little countersunk screw in there, tuck him back and it's gone. And on the other side I made a little switch panel. You can obviously buy proper switch panels for the occasion, but because I'm only going to now and again use it as an overnighter, I didn't need too many fuses, didn't need too many switches, I made one. So again, we've got the little L bracket, countersunk hiding screw under there somewhere, 20mm return, is carpeted. First one does the telly, oh yeah. Second one is these lights. I'll talk about them lights in a minute and how I've done them. And then third switch, let's leave them on. Third switch is just blank. I haven't put anything into that yet. And then we have obviously got your obligatory USB charger and a battery meter. Battery's going down. Got a couple of new batteries, we'll move on to that. Split charge, backup battery. Don't want to be sat somewhere and then end up killing the battery in the van, i.e. the van not starting or anything like that. So we need to get a backup battery, and I do have a plan. Let me maneuver, because I'm in the back and I've got lights everywhere. I'll show you where my plan is to put it. So they're not the biggest of vans. There is a nice bit of space out the back. We're happy with that. We didn't want a car battery just rolling about in the back. We didn't want a battery box somewhere sticking out and seen. So my plan is to take one of the under seat storage units out. I'm going to blank off that vent. I'm going to cut a square out of the carpet and sink the battery into it. I have got spare Touran bases. I've got one out. Let me show you the plan. That is a passenger side spare Touran base. I've unscrewed the under seat storage. I haven't got anything in them. I don't use them, so it can go. That's an old battery. It's not the new battery. I have got two brand new deep cycle leisure batteries, both 75 amp, one for the front to go under the bonnet and one to go in the back. I've got the same size batteries so we can charge off the alternator. When you're setting up a split charge system and you want to charge from your alternator, you must use the same size batteries. You can't have 100 amp under the bonnet and a 70 amp in the back, or vice versa, because it will only charge both batteries to the 70 amp. So one of your batteries will be underpowered. When you're sold a split charge system, they don't say you must have the same size battery in the back. Anyway, school lesson over. That's how it's going to sit. Well, a bit more central. Come on, sort that out. That is how that's going to sit. And obviously that's poking up. But underneath the carpet on a Caddy, there is about 3 or 4 inches between the carpet and the base of the metal. So I'm going to cut a square out of the carpet, lay a thin bit of padding down so the battery's not sat on bare metal, and the battery will drop down low enough so it sits flush and goes under the seat. I have also got a 200 amp 12 volt breaker, and that, my plan, I'm going to have a piece of wood going across here, yay high, carpeted, and then that will be screwed to the front. When you're in the back sat watching telly, I don't know, lights on and stuff, you'll hit the breaker. Then you're only using the battery in the back. Then when you go to set off the next day, a few hours later, start the van up, let it run for 5 minutes, lean down, click that back together, and now your alternator in the front is charging the back battery. You can buy a split charge for this. Only problem is, 2 vans I've fitted split charges into, they've had a battery drain since fitting it. Don't know if they stay powered up, don't want it to kill the batteries, so we're going for manual. Sat in the back, TV on, lights on, charging phones. We've broke the link between this battery and the front. Start your van up, connect the two, keep this one charged. Onto the last bolt, seat all the way forward, back 2 bolts out, seat all the way back, get the front 2 bolts out. We're on to the last one. When getting your seats out, the door shuts are quite small. It's very easy to chip paint, mark your door cards. I've got this one rolled all the way forwards. When getting your seats out, take your time. There shouldn't be any cables attached because the Caddy doesn't have airbag seats. Oh yeah, just like that. Let's get the camera set up a bit better so we can see what's going on. I'm going to offer the battery up and see what we can do before someone else comes and ruins my fucking shot. We've got the seat base out, it's nice and easy. There's 4 screws, 1 on each end, 2 in the ends here, and underneath the passenger seat there is already a recess to cut out. I am going to have to lose the under seat blower for the rear, but they can just wear some socks, that's fine. I'm going to cut this out of a blade. I'm going to cut through that and yeah, just make a basic square rectangle all the way to the bottom. I will have to cut this back here and cap it off, probably use some aluminium tape, but yeah, happy to see that little window. I couldn't remember that when I put the carpets in. And check that out, it wasn't only the top carpet that was cut out ready, all the foam and insulation was cut out as well. Yeah, did VW think of that ahead? Anyway, that is a big recess ready for the battery. Got a layer of dodo matting down and that just keeps the noise down. I'm going to put some insulation under the gaps and I have put 2 layers of aluminium tape over the vent. I did cut it down, but any bits that I'll take out, such as that and the vent, I'll put on the shelf. That way, if it ever wants to go back to standard, you could literally pop that back in, glue that back on, and it'd be back. Battery's in, and I did pack all around the edges, so the battery isn't going to roll about anywhere. Yeah, really happy with that. I went for a 75 amp hour battery, got one for the front, one for the back, and that is the size of a battery for the Caddy. You might have been able to get a 80, 85 amp hour in the front. I like to have all the trim covers and the battery covers on. I have seen a 100 amp hour wedged in a Caddy, but then you couldn't get the covers on, and I didn't like that, so we've stuck with the same size. It's big enough for what we need. It's the following day. We got some progress done yesterday. I did run a amp cable. I had an old amp cable kicking about. run that through the bulkhead panel, remove the bulkhead panel, found a grommet already in the bulkhead, poked it through there. It comes down behind the dash, down behind this trim, and then it goes in to the battery. Power cable comes out of our breaker switch, then runs out of there, round to the live on the battery, all nice and tidy. We got the Kodak cable running straight to the seat bolt, and yeah, happy with how it looks. I did get a bit of carpet around the edges just to cover up the yellow underlay. The bit of wood I made, I decided not to go for the box in the end. Made a piece of wood that countersink screws into the base, and then that screws onto it. Put it off to one side, because then I can reach it from the driver's seat while driving if need be. And yeah, happy with how it looks actually. Looks relatively factory. I do have a breaker fuse under there. That's for the panel. It's a 20 amp fuse. You can get to it when the seat's back in. I'm going to get the seat in and make sure these terminals don't get close. I did get lucky, and this bracket that I made that holds the battery down, it does sit higher than the actual battery terminals, so that should work out pretty sweet. Just gone to pull in the workshop to put the battery on. I've had the interior lights on, I've had the little screen on, I've had a few bits on, and we are flat. That gives me a chance to try out my new little gadget. Let's get the booster out. So that nice lady from TOPDON was impressed with the last video. They have sent me a boost pack. Nice case actually. Obviously I've got a boost pack for the workshop, but when you're out on the road carrying a big massive boost pack, it's just not ideal. I've seen people using these. They're like little lithium ion boost packs. That can't start a diesel surely. That is the JS3000 jump starter. It's got a torch, it's got all sorts of cushy little hangy hooks and stuff. It's got a torch. How do you make it work? Well, I don't know how to make the torch work. I might have to read the instructions. Nice little leads. As I say, I have seen a few people using these. I'm like, surely they don't work. But apparently they do. I haven't used it yet, so we're just about to find out. Engine start, nice little rubbery cases. It's got a 12 volt output, USB for charging your phone. Oh, that's wicked, I'll probably take it fishing. Input, output, yeah, loads. Has got a torch. Says power full. Oh, there we go. Cool, that's bright. Flashy. Oh yeah. Anyway, it's enough of the sales pitch. That way. Oh, that's a nice positive connection. Let's get it on the terminals. On. Now what have we got to do? Well, we've got a green light. No way is that going to work. Let's find out. As you can see, my bonnet prop, I haven't got back round to that yet. It's another day. Let's find out if this is going to work. Blimey, it does work. That was very flat as well. Yeah, impressive. As I say, I've never used one before. I've normally got the big bulky ones. Yeah, brilliant with that. It says it can do like 40 starts on a single charge. Yeah, happy. Oh, and it's disconnected itself straight away as soon as I've turned it off, so you're not going to start arcing the leads out, which is good. Yeah, what a pucker little machine. Big shout out to TOPDON. Let me turn this off. Oh no, I better not, it won't start again. Big shout out to TOPDON for sending that out. Thank you to the nice lady, Daisy her name is. Thank you very much. Brilliant, I'm going to use that more often. Got the seat back in and there is plenty of room. I think I can even still get to the terminals to add stuff at a later date if need be. Yeah, plenty of room. I lowered the seat all the way down. Battery does not go anywhere near the seat. There's still plenty of room. I probably will still put a bit of rubber or a bit of carpet over the top just to make sure that nothing touches the terminals. You wouldn't want those arcing out under the passenger seat. It's definitely a heated seat option. And yeah, if you needed more power, you could remove that cross brace, maybe bring it back a bit, get two bigger batteries turned sideways, side by side. You could put another battery under the driver's seat if you needed more power, diesel heater, etc. But for what we need, that is more than enough. We're in the back. I haven't got the breaker connected, so we're on 12.4. We've got the lights on. Screen's just powering up. Just dropping down a little bit. Let me lean forward. Yeah, up to 13.9 now, happy days. So the front battery is charging the back, so we have literally got BA to res to get 4. TV's booted up, and yeah, very nice actually. Quite snug in it. I like the lights, like the screen. I do need to finish off some trim around here. I'm just going to make the same 5mm bit of ply down there, bit some carpet over it, and yeah, very nice. I will just quickly explain how I've done the lights because they took me a minute to work it out, but let me show you a demonstration on what's going on. For demonstration purposes, pretend this is the headlining and the carpet side is down. I've got some Gorilla duct tape, again, demonstration, this is masking tape, can't find the duct tape. I stuck gaffer tape all the way down both sides and around the back, so it's like that. Now the carpet side is facing up. I put a bead of glue around the tape because I weren't sure if the gaffer tape was going to get warm and the lights start dropping down. So I did put a bead of super glue along the tape, and then I stuck the lights to the overhang of the gaffer tape that was hanging down. Because the LED strip was white and I didn't want to see it, I cut a thin strip of carpet and I glued that to the outside. It doesn't stand out as much, and the carpet being the same colour as the walls, it blended right in. Yeah, happy days. It's a few days later. Let's get this video wrapped up. And in the meantime, I have had an MOT. I'm not the biggest fan of loads of advisories and stuff like that, so I go the extra mile to make sure my motors are in tip-top condition. That's why we have got the wheels off the giveaway Golf. Check out how good the giveaway Golf looks on black wheels. Nicked 3 wheels off the black Golf and I nicked 1 wheel off the blue Golf. All matching sizes, of course, because that's a failure to have different size tyres on the same axle. Going to get back on the giveaway Golf very soon. I've got a load of parts here. I've just been waiting for a bit of better weather so we can do some stuff outside. I like working outside. Workshop's a bit small. Like to do it outside. Weather is absolutely pony at the minute, so we'll be back on that very soon. Now, we got the Caddy through the MOT, no advisories at all. That's a whole new engine, new wiring loom, axle flip, front end swap, not a single advisory. Happy Dobtech, really happy with that. Let's have one last little butcher's at the inside. It's a little bit windy out here, so hopefully there ain't too much wind noise. Got some rags, cloths for the workshop. Thank you, Mummy Sue. They always go down well and keep my hands clean. Yeah, brilliant. Kids have been loving it in the back. The lights are good. We're happy with them. I might try and trim the carpet, you know, the covering carpet, just a little bit better so the line is straight. I do like a straight edge, a perfect finish. We'll address that another day. Screen works absolutely brilliant. The sound is good. You can hear it clear in the back and you can still have the radio on in the front. I might put some speakers in the back corners, don't know yet. Yeah, gone down pretty well. I do still need to do some finishing trim around the outside, but for now it's usable. We're happy. We're going to move on to something else. I do want to put a bed off to one side. I've seen a mattress I want to buy, worked out how to make it. Yeah, really good. If you're wondering why there's no seat in the middle, we've got no seat belt on that seat because on the Touran it had a seat belt coming off the roof, and that was ugly. I've only got 2 kids, perfect, one on each side, seat belt for them. For the MOT, it had to have a seat belt, so I just unclipped the seat. No bother, no advisories, nothing. Yeah, sweet, happy days. And the battery system has been charging perfect. We've sat a couple of times, parked up, flipped the old breaker switch off, battery lasts well. As soon as we start driving, flick the breaker switch on, both batteries all charged up, happy days. If you've seen in one of my video shorts, I have got a Caddy Golf R front bumper, the hybrid one. I've got one of those to fix up and put on. Looking forward to that, but there's a few other jobs I want to get done in the meantime, so that will be in probably a couple of weeks. We're going to get back on to the giveaway Golf soon, and there's going to be a video on the old blue Golf, the track car, because we're going to put that up for sale. Need to do a few bits to it for MOT. I'm not an advisory man, so I'll probably do more than I should. We'll put that up for sale, and then we'll get on to the next project, which will be coming soon, probably a month or so. That I am looking forward to. If you found the video useful, click the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.